This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast?
Na 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 na. Oceania rain, Shania rain, Shania rain. Na 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 na. Fought a battlestone, oh, fought a battlestone.
Wait, what the fuck? I thought this song was about me. You piece of shit! I rip off your penis!
And that's justifying our 18 rated content.
Kind of Little Richard.
Yeah, right.
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
Am I over here or am I over there? Oh, nobody knows.
Just like drop a massive flaming sphere and then just crawl away.
He takes 5 points of damage and he lands prone.
Trail's leg.
I would have killed you.
I'm going to cast sleep on these two.
He uses flurry of blows. It's a natural one, everyone.
Yes, I love this app.
My monsters in that round achieved nothing other than hurting one of themselves and falling over.
The adventure continues now.
We're rolling. Rolling.
You got another rolling song for us, Ross?
Rolling in the deep.
Done it.
We've done our rolling on a roll, rolling until I roll.
I'm so glad I asked that question.
Wow.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Danger Club podcast.
I'm rolling right now.
What are you rolling?
Ross
My edible D6s.
watching the last record. Ross eats his bloody dice. Put them in your mouth.
It's quite funny because they're all like sticky, so they get.
I like the fact that you've been eating your dice and then not mentioning a single word of it on a audible podcast. So all that money you spent on those edible dice, which you got from Dragon Meat, I believe, didn't you?
Yes, thank
They
you.
didn't do edible D20s, huh?
No, thank you, Honey Badger Games, for your food porn.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, not obviously the different type of.
You found a loophole, haven't
And
you,
also-
to eat on the podcast? You found a loophole.
Yep.
Also, that reminds me, because Dragon Meat was a long time ago now. But I met Ian Livingstone.
Oh, yeah.
Of Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson, who do the
yeah,
fighting
that's
fantasy.
what
And I
picture
shook
that.
the hand of Steve Jackson. I was so excited. Just want to put out there, big up Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson for personally getting me into role playing many, many, many moons ago.
Yeah,
and I think
my first experience
most other people.
as well. Yeah, fighting fantasy books.
Yeah. We did give him a flyer. He probably hasn't listened. But if you are still listening to Ian, thank you so much.
What was your,
cheers.
very, very quickly, first fighting fantasy book you ever played? Mine was Armies of Darkness.
Mine was actually The Warlock of Far Top Mountain, because my eldest brother had the series, so the classic first one, which is impossible.
Freeway Fighter, which was the Mad Max one.
The Mad Max
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that's nice.
Not one of my favourites.
No, it's it had a fuel mechanic on where, like, whenever you turned a page or something, you cross off one fuel and you get some fuel. But if you ever run out of fuel, it's just game over. Even if the passage doesn't say that, even if you're halfway through the story, it's like, no.
Well, I think it's at the beginning, I'll say, if you ever run out of fuel, turn to 222.
Yeah, it's
And you
just
turn
like,
to 222, it's like, you're in the middle of the desert with no fuel, you lose. It's like, oh, good. Yeah.
Mine was, I think it's called Tower of Doom, the first one I ever did. And that was like, you were a barbarian in like the northern wastes. And this random flaming tower came from the skies, vomited flame upon like your villages and stuff, and then started hopping across the land, and you followed its trail of destruction. It was mental. It was so high end.
insane,
You
yeah.
followed its trail of destruction, the blazing, fiery swathe of destruction, and then you had to get inside it towards the end, and then fight your way to the top. It was mad. Like, it was high level stuff, man.
So good.
Yeah,
I love the
this
Final Fantasy
this
books.
one of the things, because I'd never come across them before, and I was pretty young. I must have been like 8 or 9 years years old, right? And you know, the Armies of Darkness one had a mechanic in it where you had to control armies, right? Which was actually quite complex for those books, and I'd never come across them before. And like, but I was super thrilled by it. I thought it was so cool, man.
It was sick.
It was amazing. Like,
they laid the groundwork for it as well, because they made you go around recruiting all the individual groups to put in your army, and it felt so satisfying when you had the total amount. You faced off against the Armies of Darkness, but then you rolled really well, and like you won, and it still took you to the same place in the book that you would have done if you hadn't gathered an army in the first place. Like 2 pages later, if you'd just been the same thing, what was the point in doing that then? I had the army. Yeah, but now you've got to divert off I gathered an army by myself with my hands. To the bee.
I don't know what you're talking about, by the way. I have no idea.
Do you know what? I think I will get you a Fighting Fantasy book.
Yes. Don't worry,
if I get you Secret Santa.
Because the present that Drum got me for New Year.
No way. No way.
Scott's literally just got off mic.
It's called Choose Your Own Apocalypse with Kim Jong-un and Friends by Rob Sears. Where it's a fighting fantasy book, but not really. You're just playing a guy in the UN Department of Thingy, and you try and avert the apocalypse from, Putin and Trump and Kim Jong-un.
It sounds a lot like Appointment with Fear. Do you remember that one? Where you were a superhero?
You were the silver.
Yeah. It's got a few of those kind of mechanics.
Appointment with Fear was impossible.
It was really hard.
It was such a hard one. Because you had to choose your powers, and so often there were fights where it was none of your powers. Essentially, like, you're just going to lose.
The toughest one I ever found was Creature of Havoc, where you wake up and you don't know what you are, but you're a really strong beast of some kind. You have to learn what your powers are, and you can be scared. And it was the thickest one as well. It was so big, it was dense. I never got through
the
that.
first thing of that is like, you meet a dwarf. What would you like to do? Say hello. Turn to this page. You kill him. What? It's just, I mean, we owe a lot. This podcast really owes this. I mean, we all owe our fandom of everything to those books, many of us. But this podcast specifically, we all started playing role-playing games when we were all sitting in a green room together. And I think, Drummond, you brought in your old Fighting Fantasies.
I did indeed.
We would just sit in the green room doing dramatic readings of Fighting Fantasy books with just actors reading them out. And we played there was a sci-fi one where you're like a secret space assassin.
Oh, Space Assassin.
Probably, yes. Yeah. Probably. Is that what it is?
Yeah, which is a really good one, and that was a little bit easier.
The opening is just, you're drinking in a bar, and some dudes come in and start a fight with you, and they're like, one of the guys starts punching you in the face. What do you want to do? And it's like, fight back, let him punch me in the face. And if you pick let him punch me in the face, he like rags you around the bar a bit, and they're like, do you want to fight back yet? And you're like, no. And he's like, stuffs your underwear on your face, and you just have to have 3 passages of being beaten up by these guys. And if at any point you choose fight back, you turn to page and says, they recognize your secret fighting style. You're identified as assassin and immediately killed. And that's it. So to win, you just have to let them treat you like a punk for like 3 pages. They were brilliant books. But we played all of those, and then off the back of that, we were like, does anyone remember Dungeons and Dragons? And then I dug out my 3.5 books, and we played that, and then Pathfinder, and here we are. We are in the Temple of Razmir.
Yeah.
Good
where
segue.
the fight
That was a good segue.
It was a great segue.
That was a good link.
Yeah,
Very
there we
nice.
go.
Or they call it in
all
TV.
led to this point. Everything to do with our lives and friendships up to this point has led to what a difference a week makes, eh?
Yeah.
What a difference a week makes.
How many hours is that? A week?
A week of 72.
Quite a few little hours.
They're typing it on the Discord right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, this time last week, it was looking really, really troublesome. You were looking at, Shania was down the pit. Shania, who is carrying all of the evidence we worked out that could maybe prove that there are untoward things happening in here. So there was a moment where if Engarthis had just run out of the room with Shania in his pants, he could have saved the entire Church of Razmir.
Don't look at me like that, Scott. It's over now, all right? It's finished. I've apologised on air to the Dangerlings and to everyone.
I smiled beatifically for the future jokes I'm going to make about this.
If I hadn't already established at the start of this that there's no sewer system in Tamron, I would have had him run somewhere and flush you.
It's good that you were rolling really badly as well.
I love that.
helps.
That really helps.
Don't say that. 'cause-
Although, to be fair, the app actually came back and did a couple, but where it really mattered, basically Engarthis just pulled a real
A terrible
googly.
Stinker.
Yeah.
absolute stinker.
Stinky old Engarthis.
They rallied from it, they've done some damage, they've come back, but the trouble is that now all of you are on your feet, which is a real turnaround for it. Although a couple of you have the wounded condition.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us, one of you who has the card, James, do you want to tell us about the wounded condition?
So, at any time you gain the dying condition or increase it, add your wounded value to the amount, which would be 1 for me and Scott, I believe, is it?
So when you get dropped to 0 hit points, you go to dying 1. So the two of you, Karagor and Velda, because they have the wounded 1 condition, you would go to dying 2.
Right.
Or is anyone else going to... And then if you healed up from that, you would get wounded 2, which means when you go down, you go to dying 3. So it basically means the more you get up during fights, the more peril you are in of being immediately killed or of being very quickly killed.
So unlike Captain America, we can't do this all day.
You can. You will need a little sit down.
As we established, Velda could never ever do that.
No.
However, the wounded condition ends if someone restores hit points to you with treat wounds, which I believe Shania can do.
She can.
Yep.
Or if you are restored to full hit points and rest for 10 minutes.
Yep. So you can lose that without too much. Shania can get that from you. Basically, once the fight is over, it's not too hard.
We have to win this fight first.
So there is it Engarthis in front of us?
So in the room, you have Engarthis. He is now surrounded by you, basically. He has 3 of you. He has Velda. Well, Velda's off in the corner. Velda's
Crawling away.
probably sitting in the golden throne. Fulton and Karagor are directly in front of him. Bubba and Shania are in the room behind him. He's not actually flanked yet because you haven't run into melee, but you are...
Shania's not quite in the room.
Oh, okay. Shania's just in the doorway.
She's where Engarthis
she's a little
was,
way.
I think.
She's...
I literally climbed up, and then I'm stood on the platform.
So you're on the platform. So you're a little way out. So
And you're still a spider.
Huh?
You're still spider.
I've still got my climb is still on, but I don't know what I'd use it for at this point.
And then behind Shania, there are 2 priests who are currently asleep. And then down in the pit, there's one priest who's just having the worst day ever. So things have turned around pretty quickly. How are we feeling right now? Are we feeling confident? What's the plan if you win this fight?
Good question, Dan.
Yeah.
The initial plan, if we win this fight, is to just very quickly pull our stuff, see what we've got. We worked out that, as you said, Shania has the letter, the damning letter, which probably is the spearhead of our information, our evidence against the cult. If Velda can have that letter instead, what Velda could do is, as a backup, maybe dimension door out of the temple to the appropriate thing. That's our backup. We decided in case we all start dying, which might happen on our way out. But ordinarily, failing that, Velda, what should we call that? The Velda parcel backup? The Velda delivery service. We don't want to have to use the Velda delivery service. That's if it all goes really, really badly. What we want to do is just leave this chamber, just take a very quiet walk, and just walk very gently, very softly, but briskly all the way to the end of the corridor where we came in, and leave. If anything, interrupts that.
I mean, that's the one that, because you're quite keen
go
on
after Freya.
because this is the big question. If we leave now, we basically are not giving up, but we're letting loose the Shard and Freya Spawn. Because any help, even if our dimension door out, is not going to be coming quickly. We do not have a legion of knights waiting outside ready to charge. They are going to be long gone.
Are we blaming Freya for MZ's death?
No, we're blaming Dan.
I think we're blaming Dan,
aren't we?
Yeah.
Still pretty.
No, but at the Danger Club, she had a part of it, right?
Even those guys, they're aware that
someone needs revenge, man.
I mean, that's the trouble. I mean, it was the Golem.
It was the
and
guy
we revenged upon the Golem.
Was it directly?
I hate to bring it up again, Dangerlings.
Directly. I mean, we were leaving anyway.
True. Yeah.
Unless, I mean,
I mean,
if you start tracing it back too far, it gets real woolly. It's like basically everybody.
Everybody's involved.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she brought our friends into it.
Yeah.
A small girl and someone else who's not a fighter. She brought those two. She endangered them. I'm still smart. I think we're all still smarting about that. And not only that, but she was supposed to be your friend, right?
She duped us all.
Yeah,
M called it, man. Though, do you remember? M called it back in the day.
Caragor's going to have something to say to her. I mean, right?
Well,
anyway,
maybe,
it doesn't matter.
Perhaps.
Okay,
yeah.
right. Okay, well, anyway,
We'll find out.
We're going to call that plan that if we have to make a Freya shard diversion, let's call that the hard shard, because that's going to be quite. It's going to be quite difficult to do that. We're basically, if we have to do that, we're going to increase our own difficulty in getting out of this temple.
Yeah,
it's true. The only thing is, we've spent so long in this temple. It would be a shame to just leave almost.
You want to take in some more of the paintings and take a walk on the upper levels and see the view.
I think a lot of it depends on how we get out of this fight and how well we do. So let's get on with it.
Agreed. Let's find out. And first of all, let's find out how those priests do. 2 of which are asleep and 1 is down a pit. I feel like this will be quite a quick go. They're going to get perception checks to try and hear the fight that is going on to see.
And what's
if
that
they
against,
wake up.
Dan?
So it's a straight up DC 15 perception check to see if they wake up. The other one is going to be slightly easier because he's bleeding to death, so he's going to get a little bonus to that.
One of them's crit, isn't it? Because
he got critted, so he doesn't get. Yeah,
so actually doesn't get the bonus.
Well remembered.
It actually only increases the duration. I had a look at it. It's if you heighten the spell by 5 levels, then it becomes a magical sleep, and then they don't get to make any perception checks to wake up.
Oh, I see.
5 levels.
If you do it as a level 5 spell rather than a level 1 spell.
Jesus. By which point you'll be able to call down comets from the sky.
But if anyone knows the benefit of just shutting someone down in a fight immediately, it is us, from having played an entire campaign with a witch in the party who can just go slumber. The ability to just immediately take somebody out of the fight is hugely powerful.
We only took advantage of that 563 times.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
That whole party was just slumber, coup de grace, slumber, coup de grace.
It became the cornerstone of every plan we walked into, even dealing with merchants, running away princesses. If everything sleeps, everything's easier to deal with. Just make it sleep first and then you deal with it.
So now you can still do that, but it's a higher level thing rather than something you can do at level 1. So the first guy tries to wake up. That is a fail. He stays asleep. The one who's bleeding fails as well.
Sleepy gods.
They remain asleep despite the sounds of fighting. The other one... all of you are in the room now. Oh, Shania, you're sort of down in there.
Oh, yeah.
You've had dark vision. You see the guy down in the pit run up a staircase, and like, I'm gonna get the mouse. You hear a click, and he comes sliding back down, and just slides back into the pit, and falls prone.
Something else occurred to me. When you got thrown down the pit, Shania. That's a good thing Danny Carragher killed that pit snake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Right? Yeah. Imagine it now.
Just realised that. Like, everything else going on, and you would have had a pit snake as well.
I mean, to be honest, actually, she and I could have just done exactly as she did, climbed the hell out of there, and then it would be Disaster, the priest, who was stuck down there with that snake.
Is that the priest's name?
I think it's Disaster, isn't it? Because he's just disastrous.
Disaster, the Wonder Priest. Well, I wish I could tell you that there was more to come, but that is the priest's go. They fall asleep and they fall down a slide.
Yep.
They were so powerful a while ago, but now they're doing that. Shania, it's your go.
Okay, great. So, all right. So Shania comes into the room, is standing, behind Engarthis then?
Yes, it's up to you as to what you could get into melee with him if you want to from here.
I'm not going to bother getting into melee. I'm just going to walk into the room, so I'm in the same room as everyone. Give them all a bit of a nod, Avengers Assemble style, and I'm going to drop another flaming sphere.
Oh my God!
Onto his head. So there's now 2 flaming spheres.
You could get your scythe.
Hate this.
Are we not saving spells, or are we just going to drop it on?
Well, I mean, we need to get rid of him. I'm not that great with the scythe, and I don't know.
Yeah, do it.
I don't want to get into melee with him. I can just heal. Like, I'm saving my healing spells.
Let us crush him between our flaming balls.
Let's do it.
Goodness gracious.
Balls.
I'm down with that. Let's do that.
He will go to the room and drop a second flaming sphere onto Engarthis. I can tell you, he makes his reflex save, so he takes no damage from
Really?
it.
Even though he's got his back to me?
Even though he has got his back to you, yes.
Does he
Did he take a penalty for that?
No, because he's not flanked.
He didn't take a penalty for that?
He does not take a penalty for that, no.
Isn't he flanked? Aren't we surrounding him?
Yes, but there's no one in melee behind him because Bubba and Shania are both standing in the doorway. They're not in melee with him. There's two of you attacking him from the front, and then two people who are just standing behind him. They're not actually. They need to actually move in and attack him in order for him.
So I should have got into melee with him.
Well, no, because then he could just turn around and dap you one. I've just got this wonderful, ridiculous image in my head.
Dap you one?
Yeah, I was going to say...
Dap you. I'm going to dap you.
I will dap you, sir.
I will
Be
dap
careful,
you.
otherwise you'll get a good dapping.
Yeah, well, it says the dwarf on the ground, who have got a big old dap.
Oh, yeah.
But I've just got a ridiculous image of Engarthis standing there, just sort of playing hopscotch on one square 5 foot thing with two flaming balls just rolling around his feet. How did he avoid that?
You sort of imagine that they're like... Remember, a 5 foot square is not a... There's a really good image that someone did of what a 5 foot square looks like in a role-playing game, where they marked out a 5 foot by 5 foot square and then stood within it. And it's actually a decent amount of space. It represents kind of... It's not literally the amount of space you take, it's the amount of space you take up while you're moving around and you're fighting. So he's in that 5 foot square, and with it there are two balls of flame, which are probably like football size, or maybe like beach ball size. They're not enormous. They're not like the size of a person.
In my mind, I always think of like a Temple of Doom style, like...
And they are just kind of whizzing around that space. So he's jumping over them and trying to stay out of them.
But now that's surely going to be taking up a certain amount of his attention, right? Like, wouldn't it be if you're jumping around going, oh god, trying to dodge flaming balls in your 5 foot square? Surely that does that not? Okay.
It will certainly make it hard for him to do things that require the concentrate.
Okay, all right,
like casting spells and things.
Okay,
but he can always move to get out of the way of them. So, oh boy, Fulton Battlestone on the ground. What's the plan?
Get up.
Okay, you stand up.
Hit him.
Dap him one.
How?
God,
So
give
that's
us
an
a
action.
dapping.
It's one action stand
Make
up.
this
You
an
didn't
expression.
release your axe, so that you've still got that in your hands.
Cool.
You've got
So
two
then
actions left.
can I do a power attack?
You can
again?
do a power attack.
Probably not going to be a hit. 4 plus 12 is...
Go on, do that.
16.
16 is a miss.
Yay!
Right,
and that's
Fulton
the end of my chapter.
Pops back to his feet. He swings, and he entirely misses Engarthis. Engarthis then takes his go. He looks at the people who are in front of him. He takes a 5 foot step out of the to be out of the flaming spheres. So he doesn't have to keep hopping around those.
But I got attack of opportunity.
Attack of opportunity, I was going to say.
Step action does not provoke.
Spoil everything!
5 foot step does not provoke. A move action would, but it's just a step, so it doesn't provoke. Because he's being wary of you, and also he wants to stay in melee with all of you. He looks and he says, "I'd have given you the world, Danny." And he flurry of blows Karagor.
I can show you the world.
Natural 20.
Oh, fuck. Jeez Louise.
Oh, he really doesn't like Danny.
So let's talk about that backup plan.
Let's talk about the backup plan. Let's talk about
getting out of here.
Let's talk about just quietly leaving the temple and never coming back. Let's talk about...
So who are you going to go to? You got to go to that.
The Painters Guild. Okay. Quickly.
One of your members died at the stake. Yeah, he was a twat. Oh
my god, they're trapped in the temple. Quickly. I'm going to do a quick sketch.
In arms, Brush Brothers.
So you're going to go ahead and take 12 points of damage.
Yeah.
And you are stupefied 2 until you receive healing.
Stupefied.
Stupefied.
I get knocked down. There's no point getting back up again. I'm just gonna may as well stay on the ground. What's the stupefied thing?
Stupefied. Ross, if you hand the stupefied card over
Come on,
to
Ross.
Scott.
Sorry.
Instead of making songs.
Master of condition cards there. So that's
Master of Cards.
Master of cards.
Because they're not in order, so then I've got to go.
Why do you put them in order?
It's very Game of Thrones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is the Master of Cards?
I'm here just looking through my cards. Carry on.
You'll never be a
you literally
Master
can't.
of Cards.
Yeah, carry
I
on.
need to know.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks. Status penalty equal to the value on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma-based checks and DCs. What is the stupefied 2? So -2 to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma-based checks and DCs. Cast a spell. It would hurt me very badly if I cast a spell.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I'm a bit stupid, but it doesn't affect me moving or doing things.
Nope.
Okay, that's not so bad then. I can still maybe. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Excellent.
Ooh, as little birds fly around, little birds with eye patches fly around Caragor's
You're still on your
head.
feet.
Yeah.
He's going to try and hit you again.
Okay.
One more attack.
I would have saved that. I thought that was it.
And it's a whopping 15. Ain't going to do nothing.
One of the birds deflects that blow.
So that's his go. Bubble Von Hoops.
Oh, yeah, all right. I didn't even think it was going to be
yeah.
ages. Yeah, oh, yeah, right. I'm just going to cast Daze, I think.
Spells for days.
Yeah, I'm just going to cast Daze, little cantrip on Engarthis.
All right, go ahead. It hits him. So it automatically does mental damage.
There is a save, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so
gets a
7.
save versus the stun effect, which he makes, so he's not stunned, but he does take some mental damage.
Okay, cool. So that'll be 4 points of
4
mental
points
damage.
of mental damage.
And for my last action, I'm just going to throw up another cantrip, my shield.
Okay, you throw up. And you put up. Good. Okay, you blast him with that. Have you got any actions left? I think that's...
No, that's it. After
That's
I put
the
my
lot.
shield up, that's my 3.
Putting your shield up. So you're defensive. It's your magical shield. Caragor, One Fang, it's your turn. You're looking rocked. What's going on?
Yeah, I am looking pretty rocked. How far away is Engarthis from where I am?
Engarthis is sort of the length of a fist from you. He
Sure.
is in melee with you.
He is in melee with me. If I stepped back out now, or I could just take the step action, couldn't I?
You can step for 1 action, which is 5 feet, doesn't provoke, or you can move your full movement, but it might provoke.
I'd like to.
There is the bag. Is
Yeah,
at
I
your
know.
feet?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm stepping for. So to step, reach into the bag, pull out the arrow. Is that 1? Pull out the bow. 1, 2.
That's
2 actions or 3 actions?
2 actions. You'd have to drop the kukri because rather than sheathing it. But yeah, you can drop the kukri, step a step back, and then draw the bow and arrow, and you'll have 1 action left.
With which to shoot him with.
Okay, go ahead.
Out of interest, I remember when we played previous systems, there was a penalty or a skill for close range arrow shooting.
Yeah.
Is that the same in
It
Pathfinder
is
2?
the case with certain types of weapon, yeah. If it has a particular trait, which I think is the volley trait, then you take a penalty if you're firing it at close range.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, James.
That's all right. I was just
I'm not
thinking
sure
more of the
short
dangerings
bow
and
has
rule
that
clarification.
trait.
It's
Actually,
not a short bow. It was upgraded a long time ago to the composite longbow. It does have the volley trait. Volley 30 foot.
There we go. So yes, under 30 foot.
Sorry about that.
Caragor just
Gonna be
gets something out of
taking-
the bag and Velda sort of steps in it and goes like, oh, fuck.
Oh, actually, I think I'll find if you fire your longbow in close
You're
range.
going to be taking a -2 to this attack because you are close range. Go ahead and make that attack roll. But you haven't made an
Actum
attack yet,
secundum.
so you're using your highest attack bonus.
Yeah, I am.
Presumably, if he steps back though further, he won't take that.
If he steps back 30 feet, he will not take that.
But that would be.
That's 30 feet.
Because a longbow is not designed to be fired at close range.
I know. Well, and also
Sorry,
you don't
shot
fire a
at close
bow.
range.
Thank you. Yes, actually, yeah, I know that.
History nerds.
So I was going to sneeze, but I didn't. I think James ruined that as well.
I looked at you leaning back in your chair. I thought he's going to punch me.
I quite like.
He's building up a real power punch.
Yeah,
It's like boom, right down the ear.
I really like the comedic image of pulling a longbow out of a rucksack because we know it's an interdimensional space.
Yeah.
But a longbow is enormous.
Also, I've enchanted that bag to make a whoop sound whenever he takes something long out of it. So,
I'll add one of those in.
And probably doesn't know what's going on until the full bow with a narrow already knocked in it has come out. Just fires it.
Also, anytime anything comes out of there, a chirpy cockney does a little song as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, right?
Yeah.
A little tap dance.
Bo-bo-dee, bo-bo-dee, bo-bo for you.
There's no air in the bag of holding. The cockney died a long time ago. You got a dead cockney.
Nothing kills Dick Van Dyke.
He's as dead as that accent. Here we go. It's a 13.
A 13 is no good. He knocks the arrow aside with his fist as it
Caragor
comes
just
flying at him.
glares at Velda for some reason. He can't quite put his finger on it, but
Velda just shrugs.
Velda's something to do with it.
If it helps, that still wouldn't have hit without the penalty for volley. So, let's move on to Velda himself.
Okay, so...
Whose day do you want to ruin now?
Velda sheathes his book of annoying rule sort of clarification. I'm going to, first of all, maintain and move the ball of flame onto wherever Engarthis is. So could he roll for a reflex save?
Another reflex. That is a 23.
Oh, yeah, he makes it.
Cool.
And then I'm going to daze him as well. Let's mash that guy's mind.
Oh.
So he takes 4 points of damage. Now, how you make a basic will save?
Basic will save. He gets a loads 22.
Oh yeah,
So he's fine. But he
What
takes
is a basic will save? Is that 15?
no. A basic will save is against your spell save DC. But it means that basically it's just a save.
It's a save. Yep. So that's 20 would be that. So yep.
Yep. So
He
how much
saves
damage?
That's 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. You're wearing him down.
I like to think that a basic will save is you've got down to the last biscuit in a pack and you're deciding whether or not to just have it, or you could save it for tomorrow, but there's only one left. I think that would be quite a basic will save.
I think that's a foregone conclusion. I think I'm having that biscuit.
Trying to decide whether or not to buy a pumpkin spice latte. He's got some blood starting to trickle down his ears.
Do you know, Dan? You and your smoothies and your pumpkin spice latte. It is the most middle class thing, and I'm from Tunbridge Wells, and I am appalled.
One of my favourite things about you is your outrage at my choice of drinks.
It's amazing though. Look, we could be anywhere. We've been at festivals. We've been in the depths of some sort of like social function. I mean, you're like, fancy a smoothie.
I love a smoothie. I love a smoothie any time of the day or night.
Yeah.
It's a little sweet treat that's also technically good for you if you don't speak to a doctor about it. Right. So you've got one action to move that. What are you doing with the other two?
Yeah, so one action to do that, and then 2 for days.
2 for days.
So that's me.
Lovely.
Literally do that all days.
Let's go for these. Let's get these goddamn priests back in the fight.
Just out of interest, I've got a shield as well. I know that Bubba von Hoops cast that up.
Yeah.
I can't cast that on someone else, can I?
No.
It doesn't
it's
say
only
I can.
on yourself.
That's fine. No.
One of them passes. One of the priests wakes up.
One of the sleepy priests.
Yeah, so one of the priests is now awake.
The priest who still stays asleep, who had bleeding, did he take that damage?
He is taking bleed damage. He's awake. He sort of wakes up and just looks at the blood all over his hands. And like,
Bleedy the priest.
So he is now awake. The one with more hit points is still sleeping. Oh my god. But that's his turn. Spent doing that.
Probably need to take him out of the fight now, don't he, in case he runs off.
Nope. No. The guy down in the pit just scrabbles ineffectively at the wall, completely failing to make any progress. Another strong round for the priests, I think we'll all agree. Thanks for coming,
well done,
guys.
priests.
Yeah, well done, priest.
Shania Rain, what's happening?
Obviously, gonna keep the flaming sphere going.
One action,
and land it on top of
sphere.
Engarthis' head. Try and burn all his hair off if possible.
Burn his hair off. Natural 1, he fails.
Yeah. Huzzah indeed. So
I believe
3d6.
it's not a basic save, so it's an all or nothing save. So he just takes the damage. It's no crit fail.
I was just going to go and check that actually. If you just bear with me, I'll be able to
that's
that.
11 points of damage for you.
Because if it's a
no, there is no critical.
yeah, that's the difference between a save and a basic save. So a basic save has degrees of like half damage, full damage, double damage.
Yeah, no, this is an all or nothing. If he makes a reflex save, he got it.
It's only one thing to keep that going. Isn't
That's
it?
only one action. You've got 2 actions left.
2 actions left. 2 whole actions.
How much damage
left.
did it do?
11 points.
Nice.
Now, I mean, how close am I to the bag? Like, can I get to the bag and get to the guy that's just woken up?
No, they're opposite sides. So it's one action to move to the bag,
Also, just as warning,
and one action to retrieve something from the bag.
the priests definitely don't have attack of op. I wouldn't say the same of Engarthis. He is a monk, and they are all about their melee.
Yeah, but I'm not in melee with him.
But you will be if you go to the bag.
Oh, right, okay.
It's literally
All right, so in that case, I move over to the guy who's bleeding.
Yeah.
And try and strangle him to death.
Okay, you can make an unarmed. You can make an unarmed attack.
I mean,
just try and punch.
What else am I going to do?
Go ahead. It's a minus. You get a minus 2
like more
because
of a
you're trying to
person.
attack unarmed.
It's pretty dark, man. I love
image
it.
in my mind now. That is just this bleedy
This
guy
is for your own good.
waking up, screaming. While his friend is stood literally next to
I
him.
want you to go ahead and make an
asleep.
attack
Like,
roll.
Okay.
You're going to be using your bonus that you have for your side. It'll be the same one because you are proficient in unarmed,
Dark, man,
but then
those
minus
dark.
2 from that because it's an improvised because you're unarmed.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
I hope you do this just for the
we
dark
don't have
rolls.
any. No one's singing or anything. We've got no bonuses.
No bonuses.
Yeah,
They wouldn't be
no
asleep.
bonuses, eh, Colin? Yeah, we haven't got any bonuses.
Okay, so that is going to be a 14.
A 14 is not enough. He realizes, he just sees you coming towards him with your hands outstretched and just panics and just starts trying to knock them away with his blood-stoked hands. And
All the time, Shania going, shh, just calm down. Everything will be okay if you just calm down.
Have you still got really spidery, hairy palms as well?
Still got spidery, hairy palms, yeah.
Oh, no, it's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Oh, God. Fulton, it's your go.
Got to sleep.
I'm going to hit Engarthis again with a power attack.
Okay.
Just out of interest, what is this power attack doing for us here?
It adds another damage dice if I hit.
But you takes 2 actions to do an attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it means you basically get to roll 2 damage dice at your highest base attack bonus rather than having to do it as separate attacks and take penalties. So it is
Probably better than
nice.
taking that useless third attack as well.
Yeah.
Oh, better.
That is a... It's a 20.
20?
No, sorry. No, it's not. It's not a 20.
This is being hampered by Ross having
24.
Lots of condition cards all over his
because I'm trying to put them. Trying to put them in alphabetical order.
Oh, that's very convenient.
Yeah.
I like that.
22.
That gets him. It's not a crit.
Yay! Okay, here we go. Here
Roll
we
that
roll.
damage.
Yay.
4 plus 8. I swear it's the same
12.
as I got. 12 plus another 4.
16.
16 points of damage. You slam the axe directly into Engarthis' chest as he wheels around to hit Karagor again, and he just kind of stops, staggers, looks at his kind of crippled hands that he's been striking you with, turns to look at you, Fulton, and just says, "Nice one, brother," and falls from the axe to the ground. Engarthis is dead.
Hey!
Right before he was
Nice
about
one.
to take a go, he is out, which means it's straight into Bubble Von Hoops.
Bubble Von
You've got
Hoops.
2 sleepy priests,
All right, I turn around and
One of whom I'm sort of...
one of whom you are trying to, Shania is
like
trying
getting
to
my
strangle.
hand slapped away
now
by-
can I see that priest?
Yeah, you can see him.
Can I do the same to him? Can I cast
Days.
Daze? Thank
Yeah, you can.
I'm going to cast Daze on the priest.
You cast Daze. It does automatic damage, doesn't it? And he has to
Yeah,
roll.
automatic
He's
damage.
Stunned. He fails his save.
All right.
It does so. He's stunned, but it doesn't matter because with the damage, he's stunned. His legs go weak. He starts to stagger, and Shania just puts a hand over his mouth, this horrible spidery hand, and lowers him silently to the ground before he can wake his friend up.
You'll have seen that bit in Saving
Mad
Private
Max
Ryan.
Fitz Pretty.
Yeah,
It's
horrible.
And it's a German soldier as well as the accent. Hey, Colin, was that one of your thirst levels or a cantrip?
That's a cantrip.
I was going to say, I thought you had spells for days, mate.
Oh, James has been doing that all
I just
episode.
did
I
that
know, but
the term before.
I know, but Colin,
Sorry,
spells
do
for
it
days.
again. Do it again.
No, it was kind of a.
No, do it again.
Colin,
I
was
mean,
Do it again. Come on, let's all big up.
that a cantrip or a first level spell?
I was a cantrip.
Okay, I was just wondering because it seemed like you had spells for days.
What are you doing with the rest of your actions?
I've been saying that for the last 2 turns.
So we're one action left, and we've only got this sleepy priest.
You got
haven't we?
one sleepy priest. He's still asleep.
Oh, we got Pit Priest.
And you got
And we got
Disaster.
Pit Priest. Okay, I'm just going to walk up to stand next to Shania
Okay, that's fine. You walk
and go, all right. There's 4 of me still, by the way.
Thank you, and thank you for your help with putting this man to his rest. his
Yeah, what
peace.
should we do with this last one?
Are we still in combat?
We are still in...
Yeah,
We're kind of still in combat, so we
Yeah,
should have
because
to
they keep
combat.
getting saves.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can't really have this
To be honest,
conversation.
the best thing we can do with this priest, because he's on the edge of a pit, just push him in the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karagor, it's your go. You got 3
That must be-
actions.
Can I just walk up and punt that guy into the pit?
Yes, you walk over, you grab the guy.
Gonna
and you
wait.
just-
Where he's above a pit, right?
Huh?
He's standing next to a pit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna go and Sparta kick him, full frontal kick, kind of like what I did with Fulton, but this time it's for an enemy.
Like you're kicking in a door,
yeah,
but it's a person.
and they fall down. Yeah. There's a lot of things, a lot of happy buttons for Karagor right now.
The priest kind of rubs the mask, opens her eyes. Brother, I had the strangest dream. He looks over at a sort of half spider creature just smothering the other priest, looks up, and Karagor hoofs him in the chest. He just sails
Karagor!
sails backwards, 1d6 points of falling damage. I'll let you roll it if you like, Karagor.
Oh, thanks.
It's nice of you done.
5.
5 points of falling damage, and he crashes and lands prone in the pit. Just for shits and gigs. Let's go for that. The other guy jumps out of the way and does not have a man land on him. And the 2 of them are left trapped in the pit. And we will drop out of combat rounds because you have secured that.
Can I, first of all, I'd like to pick up my handy haversack
Yep.
with a sort of grunt. Can I search Engarthis?
Can we hear the grunt?
I'm still pretty badly injured. It's quite a heavy-handed haversack.
You can't hear him because he's standing over the pit with his bow and arrow. Karagor's also going,
Yes,
I'm right beside you.
searching
All 4 of
Engarthis.
me.
Searching Engarthis. Okay, you rifle through Engarthis' belongings. So you find a collar that he was wearing. You find 1 potion of moderate healing.
Wow.
You find 1 potion of stabilize.
Nice.
You find a wand. You find a stone with a rune carved into it.
oh.
And you find a silver key. Go ahead and make an Arcana check if you want to work out what any of those
Do I
things are.
recognise the silver key? Is it not the same one that we've had before?
No, it's not the same one that you have. It's a different key to the one.
If I can make an Arcana check for...
to identify the items.
Yep.
Articana.
Huge. That is 29.
29. Okay, so the collar was a collar of the Inferno, which is a 1-use item to summon 1d3 hellhounds.
That was what I was really hoping we could... Let's get some hellhounds for our own.
Yeah, it is now unfortunately completely inert, so it has no value.
Okay.
The wand is a wand of shield. The runestone is a +1 armor runestone. So you can have a craftsman add that to a piece of armor. It increases the armor value of that item by 1, and you can do it to clothes. So
It's sick.
Robes.
Rune stuff is sick.
So you can upgrade anything with that. And you can take it out of things. So when you buy new armor, you can take the runestone off, slot it into your new armor.
Do you know off the top of your head what a potion of moderate healing does? I can look it up.
Probably look it up. It's basically better than the one you had.
That's the
Quite
mid-range
a lot.
one, isn't
It's
it?
quite a good amount of healing.
Yes.
Shania,
I think it was 3d8
yes.
or something.
I then...
would
sorry.
now be a good time for you to do that mass heal?
Well,
Go on.
yes, maybe.
I was just going to do one more thing. While this discussion's going on, Velda's going to go around and hand everybody their weapons and possessions that were in the handy haversack. So anything on the list, you now have back in your possession.
Okay.
Maybe we should have a look at what potions we got before we start doing a mass heal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, look, here's the thing. I can do healing on you guys without using any potions or or spells without using any of that stuff?
You can, but if we get into another fight, we might need. It's going to be quicker for you to mass heal us, or heal us with spells, rather than us taking 2 actions to drink potions.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, exactly. So I should save that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, why don't I use just one of my abilities, like
You can use medicine to treat wounds.
I'll just treat wounds. I'll just treat wounds on people. That'll take away your wounds as well.
Okie dokie.
So can I'll just treat wounds on everyone.
How long do you need to do that?
1 action.
Oh wow, 1 action.
Because she has Battle Medic.
Battle Medic.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. All right, fine. Go, yeah, patch me up, Shania.
Okay, so I'm going to patch everyone up. I think is it 2d8?
So you can do it on 2 people at a time.
2 people at a time.
The first thing you have to do is you have to make a med. So who are you doing it on first?
Okay, I'm going to do it on Caragor and Velda first.
Okay, so go ahead and make a medicine check. It is DC 15.
Okay, all right.
Are you expert in medicine?
I am.
Or are you just trained?
Yes, I'm expert in medicine.
So if you like,
it's
you
11.
can do a DC 20 check to try and heal more. But obviously it makes it slightly harder. Or you can do a DC 15 and heal a bit less.
Maybe I should try and do a DC 20.
No, go for a bit less, because that will take. It would still take away our wounding conditions, and we still got potions on top of that.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right.
So you're doing a regular. DC 15.
I'm doing a regular DC 15.
Let's have it work rather than risk it.
Okay. Right. Well, it's 20. It's 21.
21 is not quite a critical success, but it is a success. So that's 2d8 hit points of healing to Caragor and Velda, and both of you lose the wounded condition.
Yay!
Okay.
Thanks.
Right. So
Thanks.
These are both in.
Thank you, Shania.
Okay.
Thanks, baby.
Fuck's
thank
sake.
you, but not as much thank you as I hoped.
Oh no, leave that's my
It's
rib.
only 3.
That's my too tight. I need that's my ventricle. What are you shutting that for?
Look, I'm trying to fuck very quickly here. Stop fucking complaining, you pieces of shit.
Yeah, you're working as quick as a mouse.
You fix a number of underlying health
Stop
issues that have nothing to do with the wounds they've taken.
So we get 3 hit points back.
Get 3 hit points back. Yep.
Kind of rubbish.
And you're immune to battle medicine now for the rest of the day.
You can't use that on me again.
Now you can do the same to.
Thank God for
Okay.
that.
If you like, you can take 10 minutes to do it, in which case they're only immune for an hour. It's a case of how much you think you're on the clock.
We are.
No,
I
it's
think
all
we
right.
are.
We'll do
Stick
this
with quick
quickly.
one.
So I'll do the
All
other
right.
2 as well, yeah?
Make a roll for same again, DC 15.
So same again.
Okay.
Um,
You can crit fail this and do damage.
just made it. 15.
15, there you go.
Just made it.
2d8 points of healing.
So...
What would happen then? Would Shania literally open up?
I mean, it literally has to be a natural 1, but then she does damage to
But
you.
these guys get 15 points of damage.
I don't think she likes us, Caragor.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah, but some people aren't making mouse jokes while I try to heal them.
Oh, fair.
Okay, so we're gonna have to start chinning potions, I guess. There's a moderate potion in Engarthis' bag, right?
I don't have a potion.
So
I was doing that
I
out
would
of character.
suggest the moderate potion be held for an emergency, because I've looked it up and it is 3d8 plus 10 hit points.
I'm on 5 hit points.
It's true, but that's like a lesser healing would probably be a minor healing, because they're not very good. But in the middle of a fight, if you get like massively critted, if you can just use the action points to drink 1 potion that literally pretty much restores
My
you
max
full,
hit points is 52.
I still
at
think we should
5%,
save that potion for an emergency.
Caragor bleeds in front of you.
Have you got the other potions?
Yeah, I've got the minor one, which is a D8, and I've got 1 lesser heal, which is D8, 2D8 plus 5. But then I've gone through all of them, and then we have one. Then you have the 1 potion between, as opposed to spreading them out between us all. So we have them for battle safety.
I mean, I wasn't going to hold on to that. I was going to give it to like Fulton or one of the tanks.
I'm okay. I've got 40 hit points.
Yeah, Caragor,
Again, I would save this moderate healing potion, because
Caragor, do you want one of these, mate?
What have we got there, mate?
A potion of light. So you can have
Potion of light. Do I become bioluminescent?
I could use a I could use a scroll on you if you like. I have 2 scrolls of lesser healing.
It's 2d8 plus 5.
Oh, okay.
Not
You
that
have a roll
makes-
of heal, so yeah, you could just cast it as if you were casting heal. So
How many of those
Okay,
have you got?
so that adds 16 as well. Then.
How much?
So add 16, right?
This is very confusing.
It would be so if you're casting it as a heal, it just be if you're casting the heal spell, so you could just roll it as that, but it won't use one of your spell slots because you use the scroll instead.
Great.
So you can do that.
And you've got 2 of those, right?
I've got 2 of them. Yeah.
Okay, then fine. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do one of those on you.
So do the range one because that's going to do the most healing.
Okay.
I'm sorry about the mouse joke, Shania. Could you come at me with this?
Okay.
Fulton
Let's
goes-
see how I'm feeling about this according to the dice.
Dan, Fulton's just going to go over to the door and keep a watch.
Plus
and
16.
Ear out.
25.
For any noise.
25.
Thanks. I appreciate that mouse joke was a little cheesy of me.
Let's not have another squeak out of you, okay?
Grim optimism nailed it. Oh, it feels better to say grim optimism and not holy penitence. God, I hate this place. Right, cover's blown, lads.
So you're feeling a bit more healed up.
Shania needs to do some healing on herself quickly as well. If that's
Just going
all
to
right.
chin that
Just gonna
tiny little
treat
one
my
that she
wounds.
was-
Can I,
So I don't use anything.
Dan, can I hear any noises coming, apart from obviously the pit, can I hear any noises coming from further
Go ahead
on?
and give me a perception check.
The 3 other bubbers are just about to disappear as well. So.
Well, that is very good. It was a 19, so that is a 28.
Listening out at the door as everyone kind of picks over the bodies and heals themselves. From upstairs, you hear a bell start chiming, start ringing. You hear the sound of feet running upstairs towards the top of the stairs, but then they go past the stairs, and you hear the front gates of the temple opening. And you can hear there is a flurry of activity, but nobody comes down the stairs.
There's a flurry of activity. Did you hear the door? There was a chime of a bell.
Did we ever find out what the system was? They got like 1 bell for enemies at the gates or something like that. Did we ever work that out? Or
No,
we ever
we've
heard the
worked
bell
it out,
before?
no.
No idea.
Surely, if they were under attack, they wouldn't open the gate.
No, so that means someone else
Somebody's
arrived.
Something
arriving or
else is going
someone's
on.
leaving.
It'll be Freya, won't it? She'll be
Okay,
leaving.
maybe we chase.
Yeah, but if we go out to the corridor right now, we're going to come right behind them people that'll see us. Wait, do they know that we're...
No.
No,
they
no one's coming. No one seems to be
no,
coming
no.
down here.
Was it just Engarthis that tried to arrest
Yeah.
us and no one else?
Yeah, I think so.
Can Caragor stealthily peek out of that door to see what's going on outside?
Okay, yeah, you pee out the door.
Only that which I can hold in my bladder!
You peek out of the door. There's nobody in the lower level of the basement. As you wait, you can hear somebody coming down the stairs. Go ahead and make a stealth check and stay outside.
Did you go out of the?
I just peeked out the door.
Because I'm standing there as well.
Yeah,
Do I have to make one or not?
yeah. If you're in the doorway, you need to go ahead and make a
Okay.
stealth check.
15.
20.
15 and a 20. One of the priests in grey robes, wearing a slightly extended looking mask. You recognise it as Zurog Slime Dance, the Knoll chef who worked in the kitchens.
Yep.
He comes hurrying down the stairs, seemingly in quite a rush. He runs into the corridor. As he stops, he looks back at the door, which is slightly open. Carol, you pull yourself back in time. Fulton, you don't. He catches the look of you, and then just turns and keeps running down the corridor, and you see him disappear off into the kitchen. After a couple of moments, you hear more steps you hear more footsteps on the stairs. Do you want to make a stealth check to try and see who it is going past, or just stay out of sight?
Shall I just go out there?
Okay, hang on. Why would you do that?
To just go, oh, what's going on, brother?
What's happening? Yeah.
Just to act normal.
I was going
I
to kind of
just
say
don't
that.
think we're going to walk out and everything's going to be rosy. I think someone's going to know that something went on in here.
Either way, we need to find out. And there's only one person.
They might be
Okay, but what I'm
distracted
saying
at the
is
moment.
he shouldn't walk out by himself. If we're going to go, then we all need to go.
Yeah,
Oh, I see what
okay.
you mean.
If they just
Yeah,
start
yeah.
stabbing him, then we're going to be inside the door, aren't we?
Yeah.
Or I just hide behind the door. Okay, and then you have a look at what's happening.
Well, I think prolonging our stealth checks here is going to put us at risk, so we might as well just head out. Aren't we?
Isn't the guy in the pit just shouting out or anything?
They have, at the moment, they are terrified into silence. They're on the ground and they're kind of, both of them are running back to the stairs and then just kind of sliding back down it because they can't get out.
Okay.
Well, I'll just while this is going on, while these guys are doing it, I'd like to thoroughly search the pleasure den, the den of pleasure, whatever it's called.
The pleasure den. Okay.
Just see if there's anything in there, any secret doors, anything like that.
James, you're going to do a search of the pleasure den, which means I'd like a perception check, please. Search that pleasure den.
I rolled 8. What is my perception?
You find no pleasure.
So that is 16.
A 16. Okay. So you do find a few things in the den. Looking around.
Some lube.
Some suspicious stains.
I mean, something double-ended.
Yeah.
It does. You get the feeling this is the Chamber of Delights is used for certain things, but you find several half-empty bottles of spirits. You find you reckon the silk curtains are probably valuable, but they're probably quite heavy. There are 4 golden censers that you reckon you can grab, so you bundle all those into the pack. There is a water pipe, so you grab that and put it in. It's like a big hookah. The golden throne is covered in gemstones. It'll take some time, but you reckon that you could prize. You reckon with about sort of 10 minutes, you could prize them all away and get a load of gemstones. You don't find anything else in the room.
I mean, whilst everyone else is doing stuff, I'll just sort of start.
Okay.
If we stop, we stop.
Okay. You go to work prizing gemstones.
Karaka, let's just go out there and see what's happening.
Are we going after Freya or are we just leaving? We need to make that decision now.
Yeah, I think we must go for Freya.
Is everyone,
this is my thought.
Then we move with
upstairs at the stairs. I thought it was just Carragher and...
Well, no, we're beside the door, but them two are the ones that are looking through the door.
Yeah.
Haven't you gone upstairs?
No. You're still
right, okay, sorry.
Looking out of the
just while I'm pressing gemstones, everyone else is just bugging off. And I'm like, do.
So if we go to get Freya, then we need to go in the direction that everyone else is going.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
That's right, yeah.
Are we doing this?
Are we going to get Freya?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We came here for a reason. Let's do it.
Caragor straps on his weapons.
We've still got all our cloaks on and stuff, and our masks and stuff.
Okay.
Remember, just backup plan, Velda parcel delivery service.
Okay, so here is the letter. I give it to Velda.
There we
got
go.
it.
We've all got our own stuff, right?
Yes, everyone the stuff.
I'm going to have to do... I was on like 9 hit points. I did one little bit. I treated my wounds. I'm on 19. I'm going to have to, I think, use another scroll if we're going to go out there, because we might get into another fight soon, right?
Hey.
Shania, do you want one of these? Do you want one of these potions?
I mean, how many do you have?
Well, I mean, 4. You can have one. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
so we'll do that off there.
You potion up, you arm up. What's next?
We head out.
Wow. Okay. Just sorry again. Didn't she go upstairs? These people have run.
You've heard. You know she went upstairs.
Yeah.
You know Zurog has come downstairs, and somebody else has come downstairs. And in the time you've been talking it, they've come downstairs. They haven't come through this room. They've gone somewhere else in the basement level.
Okay, so we are going upstairs.
So we go back the way we came. Shut the door to it.
Do you want to wait for Velda to prize the gemstones loose?
Velda, hearing what the plan is like, right, let's go.
And
I just abandon that and I join the group.
Okay. You leave the gemstones behind, you join the group, and you open the door and step out into the basement. As you do, you can hear the sound of fighting coming from the kitchen. You can hear the sound of a struggle, of pots and pans being smashed and knocked over. A moment later, Zurog Slime Dance comes back out of the kitchen, covered in blood. He has a pack over his shoulder full of pots and pans, and he's holding a cleaver in one hand and holding a key, a bloodied looking key, in the other hand. He walks towards all of you. What are you doing here?
What the hell is going on? What's happening?
Get upstairs. I'm on a secret mission.
From who?
It doesn't matter who. Get out of my way.
No, this is suspicious. Who have you just killed?
It's nothing. It's just I'm getting out of here, all right? If you know what's good for you, you get out of here as well.
What's happening upstairs?
The temple is under attack.
From who?
From who?
That's where we leave it for tonight.
Oh!
Crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join Weeby Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to Weeby Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at WeebyGeeks.net. Weeby Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?